Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 205. On today's show, we're going to get into Super Wildcard Weekend. It was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy. A lot more blowouts than I thought, and what a wild Sunday night football game.
Let's do it. Welcome to Benched. My name is Joey. Join my brother co-host Angel.
What's up? What's going on?
Sorry about the Broncos today.
Listen.
Awkward, because the
Listen.
Eagles won.
Listen, it's the refs are on the Bills' side. 31 unanswered points.
31 answers points. It's all on the refs.
Listen,
So we can't beat the refs.
we ran into prime Josh Allen. What the hell are you gonna do?
Over at producer's desk, double barrel action, registered Packer owner, Gabe Tovar,
Boom.
6'5" on a good day, AJ
What up, what up,
Woodson.
what up?
Sorry
about the Packers.
How awkward. All right, let's talk Packers-Eagles.
Hey, me and Joey were texting each other like, I'm so glad we're not watching this game with Gabe.
Yeah. But halfway through, I was like, I cannot stress how good of a decision it was to not watch the game together.
One of the more frustrating games of my lifetime.
Yeah.
We're going to get into all of that. Still one more playoff game left, the Vikings and Rams, which will be played in Glendale, Arizona due to the wildfires in L.A. And so we'll get into that. The winner of that will play the Philadelphia Eagles. Episode 205. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on those notifications. Thanks to everyone who has followed recently, followed from the beginning, followed because they hated my take on the Washington Commanders. I don't care how you followed. Thank you for being here. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, thank you for following us on the audio version of the Benched Show, Benched Podcast, whatever you want to call it. Leave a review. Turn on notifications, all those different things. Share it with a buddy as we make our way through the playoffs. Playoffs are here, and God.
Yeah,
They're definitely here.
yeah. And you see some teams where you're like, shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Let's get to the news. All right, we're not going to spend much time with the news today because we really want to spend the majority of our time recapping these games. But big news out of New England right before the first round of the playoffs. Mike Vrabel, new head coach of the New England Patriots. He goes back home to New England where he won 3 rings. And now they hire let's go with that linebacker.
Yeah.
Jared Mayo didn't work out. Let's try the other guy, the strong side one.
Yeah.
And so Mike Vrabel is going to be the head coach of the Patriots, the worst kept secret. Didn't love the process, but love where we ended up. I think he's supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, I think first thing I thought about was like, okay, if you want T. Higgins, now it's a lot easier. You have Vrabel sitting there as a winning head coach, $118 million in cap room, and Drake May. It's a pretty good trio to offer free agents to come to New England. And he's a players coach. Players love him.
Yeah, they need so much. I was looking at their roster.
They need a lot.
They have very few pieces going into the future. They have a rookie quarterback, he performed better than he should have given his circumstances. Yeah. But it's still a big question mark there.
They
too.
need
O-line. So you gotta really spend your money wisely there. As someone's banging on our ceiling. Yeah. But anyway, 49 years old, went 54-45 in 6 seasons in Tennessee. Is that surprising? That's just 10 games over 500. Not really.
Well, he had I think that the last season was bad and the first 2 were bad. And then he had a run.
He was changing the culture.
Yeah,
there,
the first 2 seasons.
Just 2-3 in the playoffs. That was kind of surprising to me as well. But only way to go is up here for the Patriots. 4-13 under Jared Mayo. And
was that the top job for you? Like for Patriots job?
For Vrabel, I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. If I had to make a decision, yeah, I think
the Bears
I think
job.
that's better than the Bears job.
Bears job, it's
because the organization.
And then what do you? It depends what you believe about Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Also, do the
Caleb
division
Williams,
that you're stepping into.
that too. Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen's. I don't know.
Yeah,
No easy road to. That's the thing. A lot of these jobs though weren't really you want to get in the AFC South, I guess, if you can.
Yeah.
But other than that, you want to go to the NFC North.
You want to go
not.
NFC South if you could, but
and then if Rodgers comes back, then you're really screwed because the Jets are going to be good next year, probably. Rodgers.
Thank you.
This is not going to be on the show like either way. But Rex Ryan got told no. He's not being the head coach of the Jets.
He really thought he was going to be
He was on ESPN like, I can't wait to play Vrabel twice a year.
Bro. Stop.
Bro, shut up, Rex.
130 million in cap space for the Patriots.
Yeah.
130 million.
some
You have
shopping.
the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, give him 2 years. Let him cook. Let him build this team.
Got
Build
your
this thing
QB,
up.
high pick, lots of money.
And okay, I was thinking any chance because what do you remember about the good Titans teams?
Tough.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry. Like those teams aren't anything. I don't care.
Oh, at 4?
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At 4,
Genty at 4.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Travis Hunter at 4.
There's not really a great running back on the market as far as free agency. Like last year,
They
there
were
was,
all-
there
yeah,
was
they were all last
Saquon and Josh
Josh
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Those
Even
I
like
heard
your
that this
DeAndre
is a-
Swifts.
yeah, this year you have Najee Harris and just kind of a bunch of
You get Javonte Williams. He sucks. Yeah.
So that's exactly my point though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's not really that guy out there. So
Apparently, this is a deep running back class, but yeah, Javonte.
Genty.
Genty's at 4 is pretty high, but yeah, you're right, though. Those Titans teams ran the ball very, very well and played tough defense.
he ran the ball. I was thinking about wide receiver. I was thinking because I was looking at their leading receivers. It was Hunter Henry, their leading receiver, tied in receptions with Demario Douglas.
Not
Yeah.
good.
You can't imagine Demario Douglas is going to be a top 2 receiver in the depth chart next year.
Yeah,
If it is, you've done something horribly wrong.
I was watching one of the PFF podcasts, and at 4, there's like a tackle. I'm blanking on his name. So it's like tackle or like Travis Hunter. So if you want to go the other way,
not lasting until 4. You think so?
well, because they think 1, 2, 3 is gonna be quarterback. Because the Browns lost Watson for the year, and then 3 is the Giants.
And
then
every
quarterback.
year we have quarterbacks that are
Yeah,
low
so
on
I
the
think-
on the
Yeah.
on the draft board.
So
they
they might-
always rise the closer we get.
Then
to
you
it.
can see Vrabel liking Travis Hunter, being like, yeah, he's never been called lazy or anything. He's a good ball player.
Terrible taste in women.
Yeah, bro, break up with your girl.
She's not it.
She's not it, bro.
She's not it, bro.
She costs a lot of money.
Anything
He's
else? Sam?
happy.
18 years.
He's happy.
18 years to find out the kid wasn't even his.
Driving off in a
Shout out
Hyundai.
Kanye.
Leave his ass for a while. Wait.
Poor, in a segment about it.
Yeah, sorry.
With Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, but he'd be a great Patriot.
He's a great Patriot. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into Super Wildcard Weekend recap. Let's do it. All right, party got started on Saturday, midday here on the West Coast, 4:30 on the East Coast. Texans, Chargers, and I'm gonna raise my hand and say I got this game completely wrong. The Texans, 32-12, a proper ass whooping of the LA Chargers, and just a lot of things happened in this game that didn't happen in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like a lot, okay, it's cool to see that. I haven't seen that all year. One of that, I mean, the biggest one has to be Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
4 interceptions, more than he had all year long. I think he had 3 on the year and 4 in this game. I think part of that is Justin Herbert. Part of that is his weapons. And part of that is the Texans are just forcing turnovers right now. That's what they're doing.
I told AJ, we talked about this about Herbert for years, and I was open up with it. We're sure that he's good, right? Justin Herbert's good. He's a good quarterback.
I don't know what.
Like as good as.
Yeah, you got to quantify that. I don't know what that means.
Is he great? Which everybody wants to
Same
tell
thing.
us that he's great.
I mean, okay,
He's
let's
a great
look at
quarterback
other
in the NFL.
players. Let's look at other players, right? Because I feel like if that happens to Brock Purdy, God, they are running him out of the league. But I feel like Justin Herbert kind of skates by because he's Justin Herbert and he throws the prettiest incompletions you've ever seen in your life.
He's cool. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
So handsome.
But yeah, I mean, he's 27 now, not a single playoff win. He's been a part of 2 of the most embarrassing playoff losses that we've seen in recent memory.
He went 14 for 32.
I don't think he's that good.
He's a 500 quarterback. That's just the truth.
He's okay. Him or Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
Bake's
man.
gonna go get you a game. I mean, he didn't win
lost.
tonight.
He
but
lost tonight. Yeah.
He literally gave away the game.
He's in
tonight.
better position than
Yeah.
Justin
Yeah,
Herbert
I don't know.
I think
That's
Baker
a tough
gave you a
one.
better- yeah,
I think
Baker
that's
better,
probably a good comparison. I don't know.
What about like Geno Smith?
No,
I'll
I'll
take
take
Justin
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert.
Geno Smith's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. Justin, it's a weird thing because he throws such a beautiful incompletion. Like it's so nice, and I don't know, but so there are some factors here. Like he doesn't have weapons, man. But like Quentin Johnson is so bad. Ladd McConkey's nice,
Fantastic.
but I don't know if having just one good receiver is justification for throwing 4 picks.
It's not.
It's not.
You know, like I
It's
don't know.
not.
If
He
that's,
just went 17 games with just doing 3.
I don't know.
Definitely
I think part of this is Justin Herbert really wet the bed. He had a strong season. Like I don't want to just ignore his season because he had no weapons all season. So we can't I don't know. I don't want to ignore it.
It is an initial season with the new head coach too, so Arrow definitely pointing up there, but the collapse is pretty bad.
Yeah, his passer rating in the playoffs is 60, 2 touchdowns to 4 picks in 2 games.
I mean, maybe that's the lesson. Like in the playoffs, he's gonna need some help.
Yeah, maybe he's just a playoff, well, not a playoff quarterback.
Yeah, like he's just gonna need some help. Like he had Dobbins back, but I mean,
A version of him.
yeah. So, but I think honestly, the story definitely is the Chargers, but the Texans, man.
Yeah.
Like the Texans are being carried by their defense. Raise your hand if you saw that coming.
Yeah.
No one.
Nobody.
And yet, I don't know if it's good or bad news. Like part of this is like, is this good news? Because if the Texans can figure anything out offensively,
It's scary.
it's going to be a problem.
The only thing that you know for sure on Texans' offensive side is that Nico Collins and Stroud have a connection, and Mixon will give you something. But besides that, you don't really know anything else. Like I don't even know what their identity is, and we're in the playoffs.
Even that's been hit or miss. Like Mixon's been okay.
Yeah,
like Mixon hasn't been he hasn't been as good as like Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, like watching that game, I was like, I still don't know what this offense is good at. Like they're just kind of an offense that kind of does a lot of stuff.
Not a lot of flow to it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
I think they give the ball enough to Mixon. And Mixon literally had to go and walk behind Bobby Sloak and say, "Give me the damn ball."
Yeah.
Before they thought, "Oh, let's give it to Joe Mixon."
and he had 100 yards because he's a pretty good running back.
Yeah, but the defense is the story here. Yards allowed on the year. I feel like when I saw these numbers, I was kind of like, why is no one talking about the Texans defense on the year? On the year, 4th in yards allowed. 4th. 3rd in passing yards allowed. Great pass defense. And then 1st in opponent's completion percentage. Like they're
First?
Wow. First against opponent completion percentage.
We had given him a lot of credit to start off the season with this defense, just kind of in the middle. They kind of like
Tell you what,
felt, but I don't know what with those numbers. I don't think there.
Well, I think we liked the names on the defense, but we never took a second this season to take a look at their stats.
They're a legit
Stingley and
elite unit.
And Lassiter, that's a nice duo.
They don't even have their safeties right now.
Yeah, they're out. Petrie and Jimmy Ward's. Yeah,
and then the pass rush is there too. Right? I was looking at pressure rate. So pressure rate, they are 2nd in the league. Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson are 2nd and 7th. They're the only team in the NFL with 2 in the top 10.
Yeah,
and so they have a legit pass rush. They have a nice secondary, and I feel like we got to see it all in its glory against the Chargers. And sorry, Chargers, I feel like you should have maybe known that and maybe run the ball more. I don't know, but. God, this defense, how far can it take them in the playoffs? I guess that's the question.
Well, we'll see next week when it gets arrested Kansas City.
25-day vacation.
Where they're on day, 18 right
Their
now?
vacation's finally over.
Yeah,
welcome
back to NFL, Kansas City.
Okay, so I guess we'll look ahead real quick, but any initial thoughts? Houston and Kansas City in Arrowhead.
Stroud's got to play a pretty clean game.
He has to play his best game ever.
Yeah.
Not just clean. He needs to throw them into this game.
Yeah, I think he needs a nearly game manager. Just don't mess it.
No, I think he needs to win the game.
I think that defense will do a good job against something like it might be low scoring game. I don't see it being a blowout.
I think he game managed his last game.
Yeah,
like I think but I don't think that performance beats the Chiefs. Do you?
If that defense can, I don't know.
I think he needs to be special.
It's gonna be
to go to Kansas City and knock off the Chiefs at home. That would defending champs. I don't think you're gonna do it on a nice defense and Joe Mixon. Like I think you need to go. You need to go take it.
Fully agree.
Like go ask Josh Allen. Go ask Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Like I mean, what initial thoughts on Chiefs Texans?
If that defense can hold them, let's say they hold the Chiefs down to like 28 points, then you're gonna have to have Stroud at least throw four or five in this game. He's gonna have to throw 400 yards. Time of possession is gonna be a big one. So completion percentage is gonna have to be sky high.
I wonder if McDuffie travels with Nico. All pro versus all pro. Is Nico all pro?
No, I doubt it.
Because he missed all those games.
Yeah, he missed a lot of
really
games.
good, though.
But C.J. Stroud now has more playoff wins than Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, and Deshaun Watson. And the same as Dak and Lamar Jackson. Well, no, just Dak now.
Also 2 years in a row against the #1 defense, I believe. So
nice resume there.
Wait, who did he beat last year?
The Browns.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to remember. So 2 playoff
You
wins in the
remembered.
first 2. No, I really didn't. I really didn't remember. But no, the two number one defenses. I mean, I feel like that was a little exposed. The Chargers, like #1 defense.
Here we go.
They matter till they don't matter. No more defense until they get blown out. It doesn't matter no more. In other news, Khalil Mack might have played his last game. That kind of sucks.
Khalil.
Khalil Mack. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Shut up, dude.
Bro, you went all week to learn names. You said Khalil. It's Khalil.
No. He said that Khalil Mack said that's how you pronounce it.
He's a liar.
Who cares? You've been Khalil Mack in the NFL.
Yeah, just stick with it at this point.
We're year 15. Now you're telling us how to say your name. You don't deserve your name to be like pronounced right. Sorry, Khalil. What a douche.
Going back to you crapping on me and then trying to move on real quick.
Oh no,
the Chargers. Do you think they're legitimately like the best they should have been like the number one
defense. The number one defense.
Okay, I know the stats are, but do you think like eye test? Do you think that's the number one defense in the league after seeing them play?
Yes, because the stats back them up. Yes.
Okay, I understand what the stats are. I could read ESPN.com too. But like after seeing them play, do you think like
okay? What else do you want? They were number one. What else do you want them to play?
They didn't pass my eye test. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I understand what ESPN.com says.
I don't know your eye test. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about it? Is that way?
No, I'm saying they're number one defense on paper. What else do you want?
I understand what it says on the fucking paper, but like when you watch them play, and you've seen other like great defensive play, like the Chiefs. Like, do you think they're as good as like the Chiefs defensively?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Do you? I mean, you guys.
I mean, okay, I get your point.
They're a great team.
Let me tell you this.
I think I think this is being taken as an anti-Texans one. Texans won the game, 100 yards passing. They had a great game. Like There's not an anti-Texans take. I'm just saying, like, was that a little bit inflated? Because they relied on this defense, and defense let them down.
So I get your point. But to be fair, comparing them to the Chiefs, same division, they played the same schedule. Chargers still had better defensive stats than the Chiefs.
Yeah, I get that. Their stats are great. They're a great defense. But I'm saying I do get what you're saying. Were they wrong in believing like this number one defense was good enough to carry us like through the playoffs?
No. No, I don't believe so at all.
They proved it all year that they were good defense. Yeah.
If they prove it all
they're
year,
a great defense.
No, but Joey's saying like, are we wrong to say like let's rewind a week ago and say I think the Chargers defense is going to be able to carry them through a lot of games. I would say that's totally fair. They're a good defense, even not on paper. Let's do the eye test. They have a great pass rush. They have a great safety. I mean, it all seemed to fit for me. They just ran into a team that
I'm just trying to think.
All of a sudden got hot.
Running it back next year, like I think you need to get younger on this defense. I think you need more athletic at linebacker. I need some depth in the secondary. I think there's some holes in this number one defense, and I thought that was maybe a little inflated. I don't know. And that's not taking anything from the Texans. I think that's how you're taking it. But that's not.
I know Ladd, I don't near 200 yards.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I think they're a great defense this year.
Yeah, I think they're a great defense as well.
I don't know what else.
They gave up 32 points. So
hey, listen.
That's all I'm trying to say.
They gave up 32 points.
I guess I should say it like this. Do you think they were exposed as being a little overrated on defense? You think the Texans exposed that? Like that's why I kind of thought like, oh, the Texans kind of exposed them a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm the Texans full flowers. I think they played great. CJ Stroud played great. Joe Mixon played great. Bobby Slowick called a good game.
Did the Texans had 2 pick sixes or
I was gonna say they actually only scored 2 offensive touchdowns.
Yeah, I was to say that's because the stats are only.
I think they had a fumble recovery touchdown and a pick six.
Yeah, so it's a little deceiving.
I did not have this going over the 42.5 over under. I thought this game was just totally surprising.
Wild. Yeah.
Not at all what was supposed to happen.
And the way it started was exactly kind of what we expected. Chargers 6-0.
In the first quarter, I texted him, I'm so tired of the Texans. So tired of the Texans.
And then all of a sudden you look up and the Texans look like the best team of the weekend.
Hey, defense wins championships. The defense can carry you so far.
It was such a cool moment for Houston. Mm-hmm. Like at home, how bad they've been in recent years, how bad ownership has been. To see like the guys jumping on the sideline, the home like a home playoff win for Houston, like that's been unheard of. And yet, here they are and going to the second round and go play Chiefs. I think it was a cool moment for Houston.
To answer your earlier question though, they're not gonna do anything against the Chiefs. Yeah. When they've played the way they've played all season, like they got hot this week. You're not going to get that hot again. You got to get hotter next week to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you can't just turn it on after what you've shown us all year.
Little heat check. What you
got, Ange?
Teams have turned on in the playoffs and won championships.
I was going to say teams have done that before. They've been
weird.
They've been so weird all year.
They're weird to root for because like as soon as you want to put the spotlight on them and give them, they just fold.
Yep.
And as soon as you back off, they do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's watching this game because we didn't want to.
Yeah.
And they do 32
I didn't turn this game on until the second quarter.
I was watching. I was like, I don't know the Texans. Where was this team the whole year? I would have, but what are you gonna do?
So we move on to the Steelers and Ravens, the nightcap. Talk about disappointing. Ravens dominated this game 28-14. It really doesn't even feel like it was that close. I think the Russell Wilson experiment's over. The Najee Harris experiment is over. Both those guys free agents after this loss. Baltimore's going to move on, and Baltimore showed up in the playoffs as one of the best teams in the NFL, and they looked like it. They dominated the Steelers. This was not close in any capacity.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry.
And they didn't have Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Without Zay, and we saw the Derrick Henry effect. He just second half took over.
Yeah.
26 carries, 106 yards, two rushing touchdowns.
Jeez.
Lamar Jackson was playing great. If it was like that, like he played his best playoff game I probably ever seen him play. He was aggressive, but running the ball and pass, he was great.
I think that's a direct result of what Henry did. Like having Henry in there
so much
allows
less
him to play
on
clean
him.
football.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I loved what I saw from Baltimore. Like it was a pretty complete game.
Double time possessions, ran 30 more plays.
Yeah.
Like you said, the running game, it wasn't even close. And really, the collapse of Pittsburgh, because 5 losses in a row now going into the playoffs, Russell Wilson's been bad, and he's not the guy, and they should have stayed with Fields.
Develop him,
or they should have played him in the playoffs. Like I said that when they benched him. I'm saying it even louder now. That it was a mistake by Tomlin, and I think he might lose his job over it, but we'll see. But
That's crazy, but it's true. Like
it's
there's
true, and
a
he
lot
should.
of
We
talk.
need to start talking about Mike Tomlin. I was like,
Yeah.
well, he's one of the best playoff losers that we've ever seen. Great that he's 500 all the time, but
It's not really
just
even an
loses.
accomplishment when you really think about it. Like I don't want to be 500 all the time. Like
people always say though, if he gets fired, then he'll get hired 5 minutes later. You think that's still true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
honestly,
it's true
yeah.
because
A lot
I think
of teams would take 500 every
yeah,
year.
you actually said it a couple of shows ago. I think it's just stale there, where it's like we know what we have in them, and we need to change. We need to change it up a
You
little
see
bit.
Jimmy Johnson's idea? He said, hey, it's stale in Pittsburgh and it's stale in Dallas. What if they just switch coaches?
Go to bed, Jimmy. Go to bed.
Our organization needed to get fired up, so we brought in Big Mike McCarthy because he does the trick.
Would you? You would
It's
fire
a
Tomlin.
weird.
Who would be the person to fire him? Like, would you?
No, because they love him. there.
Tom, can I come in?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
I want him to get fired because I want to do something new. Like I've seen that.
Yeah, you need to do something new there.
but I don't know.
And like he won a championship with
They
Bill,
might
with
not.
Bill Cowher's roster. That's why it was so long ago.
Yeah.
Once he built his roster, he's just been like
Their last Super Bowl was what?
when Ben was a rookie. What? Right? No.
Against the
Oh, the
Cardinals.
Packers.
Yeah.
No. It was it's
They
the Packers,
lost.
no?
They lost that Super Bowl.
No,
That
I'm
Super
saying
Bowl-
where was their
last
last
time they made it
appearance?
to Super Bowl?
Well,
Yeah,
they're good at losing. So
that's
they
the
lost
last
that one for
Super Bowl
sure.
appearance.
Wow.
I don't. Tomlin's.
Yeah.
You gotta let him go.
Yeah, it's just
time.
he's gonna have a job almost immediately, but you know what you're gonna get.
It was the same with Andy Reid in
Philly,
Philly.
yeah.
It was
It just had to
it was
happen.
just time.
And they both bounced back. Philly won a championship, and then now Kansas City is Kansas City. Like it's okay to sometimes.
Well, to that point though, AJ, I asked you, the Eagle fan, if you had to do it over, you just
I would have kept Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I'd love
So I'm
to have
saying,
Andy Reid as my
if
coach
that's your
right now.
point, then never mind. I'll
that's
keep
a-
him.
That's a great point, but like Philly fans would be like, oh, dude.
no, we guys have a good coach now. But
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
but
it's not Andy Reid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I would have kept.
near
Never mind. They
Andy
need to
Reid.
keep Tomlin. Don't make the same mistake we did.
Nah, it's time. That team, they were
I wasn't just talking about the team either. That sometimes it's a change of scenery for the coaches.
I
good
mean,
for 'em. Like
these
to say Andy Reid would have stayed the same from 2004 all the way to present day. I don't. I mean,
He just built
that's 20 years.
he's built an offense for years and years that just has nothing to it. Like no explosiveness, no super. It's been who's their best player on offense in the last 5 years? Ever since AB left, they've had nothing.
I mean, and
It's
that's what sucks too. Is he built a great offense, and then you had two crazy idiots, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. George Pickens, man. Let's talk about George Pickens for a second.
I don't know. He's good.
Yeah,
but
that's
he's-
Angels boy, man.
that's my boy, but he's just a kid. He's immature. He's not number one.
He can't be a number one receiver.
No.
He's a
not
good
at all.
number two. Yeah.
Unless he grows up. And listen, we're talking about a 24, 25-year-old man.
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, if you haven't grown up by now, I don't know, but
Yeah.
he can't be a number one receiver if
He'd
that's
be
your guy.
Cannot rely on
Fantastic
him.
number two. He'd be
Yeah.
so exciting number two.
But Pittsburgh's gonna draft a 4th round wideout next year, and they'll be like, "Oh, we're fine."
Well, you know, the thing about because they always get the flowers of they're so good at drafting receivers. Well, are they? Because they're really good at drafting total head cases.
Yeah.
Who are good receivers, but never last in the league.
I mean, we're
because
looking at Deontay Johnson right now.
Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool,
Mike Wallace
at one
Antonio
Mike
Brown,
Wallace,
Mike
yeah.
Wallace.
Yeah.
All these guys, super talented, but there's probably a reason why you got him as a steal late in the draft.
And then they left on horrible terms with you.
Like that's 100% where Pickens headed.
Tomlin was getting that kind of praise too, of like he's like the player's coach. Like,
Damn it, has Tomlin fooled us?
no,
Pickens-
no.
Pickens might be
Okay,
traded.
so he's been getting that for like a decade plus now, where he could settle these guys down, and we haven't seen it yet. I mean, just fail after fail.
Next year, you need a new quarterback. If that's Justin Fields, fine. You need a new quarterback. Yep. You need a new running back. You don't have a running back there. You don't have a single running back to carry your offense.
Jalen Warren's not the guy.
Nope.
Joey, Najee Harris has never missed a game in his life.
Najee, okay, what I was going to say, 6 carries, 17 yards. What I was going to say is Najee Harris is probably the most responsible for their offense falling off in the last. He's been bad for a couple weeks. I know because I freaking traded him for fantasy.
Yeah.
But he's been just as bad as Russell Wilson.
He's gotten worse every year since his rookie year.
Yeah.
He had a fantastic rookie year,
know-
and he's just gotten worse and worse.
I think Jalen Warren's better.
Yeah, no,
And
he is.
they just play Najee over him.
Jalen Warren's fine. He had 2 carries for 6 yards.
But you can't have a 5'7" number 1 running back.
He's a beautiful change of pace guy.
Absolutely.
But they need a back. If they're going to play this kind of football, they need a back. They need a number 1 receiver. They need a quarterback. That's a lot of work to do in one offseason. And they might need a coach.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Another reason why you should start fresh though. Like start fresh with the new head coach, been just basically giving him the keys to the car.
Build his roster.
And here you go. It's your team.
But you know what's crazy? They won't do anything. They've already said we're not going to fire him.
That's
We're
the
gonna keep him.
Pittsburgh way.
Russell
They
be
did
back.
say that right away.
God. This.
Russell will be back. We'll just run it back.
You know what's crazy? Every year they fool one of us or all of us.
If
Like,
they
oh,
re-sign Russell, I'm not watching a single Steelers game.
I think this is
He's
finally
so bad.
Yep,
He's
I think
bad.
this is finally the year where we all agree.
Like, he's
we
bad.
all agree. I'm not buying him next year. I'm selling that stock immediately. Boy, this could backfire so quickly in 9 to 10 months.
Who, Russell Wilson?
No, I'm saying like the Steelers. Like imagine they come out next year and just blow everyone out of the map. Like
They won't. They won't.
They won't though.
All right, let's move on. Unfortunately,
Real quick
yeah,
before you go, we didn't talk much Baltimore. They ran the ball.
That's true.
They ran the ball 50 times.
Lamar
300 yards, 6 yards a carry.
It's almost like they knew, like, no, we're in a different class.
Yeah.
But we don't have to try anything special.
We're just-
Wasn't this your score?
I don't remember. I know it was going to be like I called a blowout.
Yeah, I think
It was 21-0 at one point.
I think yours was 28-13.
Yeah, I mean,
Like your
They
prediction.
did fight back a little bit that third quarter. They scored
Yeah.
like two unanswered
And then the Ravens
touchdowns.
like turn out a little bit.
And the Ravens are like, all right, let's go.
Okay, hold on. Let's hit Derrick Henry to go punch Fitzpatrick in the face. What's his name?
Oh yes, I saw that.
Stiff arm that everyone heard
Minka
across America.
Fitzpatrick?
It was Minka,
Just
which sucks. I like Minka Fitzpatrick.
Derrick Henry.
we had some incredible runs so far, in the
Incredible stiff arms.
yeah, a lot of stiff arms.
Stiff arms have been-
But yeah, no, some incredible runs. But yeah, Derrick Henry moving forward for the Ravens in the playoffs. Thank you, Gabe.
Yep.
This is what they-
is this a different form?
This
So
is
far, so
what they
good.
brought him in. This is what we talked about in August.
So far,
This
so
is
good.
Exactly. Lamar Jackson threw 21 passes.
We didn't say
That's
what
perfect.
were his stats. We didn't say his stats.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
26 for 186 yards and 2
Jeez.
touchdowns.
Average
7
7
yards a
yards.
carry.
God Almighty.
Yeah.
He's very.
And
good.
they started with him. The game plan wasn't to get Lamar going; it was to get Derrick Henry going.
And for the whole playoffs, I don't want to see anything less than 25 carries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
You're paying him all this
yes.
money. He's already on like he's on the back nine of his career. Ride that. Thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
he looks great.
yeah. On paper,
Yeah,
he's
he
on the
looks-
back
he
nine,
looks
but he looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I
we'll
want to see more carries from him than pass attempts from Lamar every playoff game.
Absolutely.
And that's not saying anything against
No,
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson
because-
played a fantastic game.
Because then Lamar
16
Jackson
for 21, that's beautiful.
Yeah, because if that happens, Lamar Jackson's completing at least 78% of his passes. throughout
And
the
he
game.
had 15 rush attempts.
Exactly.
He had 15 for 81 yards.
I know it's against Russ, and we don't like the Steelers' offense. That defense looks good. Ravens defense.
Yeah,
They're sharpening up a little bit.
Yeah. They're good.
yeah, they look.
I mean, the
strong.
Steelers' offense is just that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
The Steelers suck.
Russell Wilson just sucks.
Yeah, but we'll see. They'll start playing real playoff teams
What a
next
game
week.
next week.
Josh Allen
What
versus
a
Lamar
game.
Jackson.
Let's go there next. Bills Broncos first game on Sunday.
Here we go.
The final score is 31-7. But damn, hell of a first 5 minutes.
Not even 5 games.
Fed generations.
I literally told Gabe when we had the touchdown, like, we're going to the Super Bowl this year, I think. We're going to the Super Bowl.
He called Terrell.
I screamed. Shout out to T who couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't pull himself together.
Listen,
Sorry, T.
it was nice being back in the playoffs. It's been a long time. And then after the momentum and the adrenaline of the first 5 minutes, you kind of figure like, that's why Buffalo's here. That's why they're the number 4 or 3 seed. They're pretty good. Let's just start with
This might be an impossible question. Do you think this said more about the Broncos or more about the Bills?
the Bills. Like they're that good.
Yeah.
Because like I know I'm a Bronco fan, but a lot of NFL fans don't think that Broncos should have even been in the playoffs. This kind of
Man, they look great though. Those oranges look great in the winter.
yeah.
The play we're talking about, the Bo Nix bomb to
Beautiful.
Troy
Franklin, not Orlando.
Beautiful.
Troy Franklin, and just like that, we thought, oh my God, this one beat upset.
Yeah, no,
and then 31 unanswered.
Yeah, because Josh Allen and that offense just ran the ball, and then ran the ball some more, and then ran the ball some more after that.
They ran the ball down their throat. Yeah. James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. I feel like he's forgotten.
Yeah.
Like, people are kind of like, yep, Josh Allen's there, and he does everything. Like, James Cook's had an incredible year.
A ton of touchdowns this year.
Was
he a true RB1?
Touchdowns?
15 plus.
Josh only threw the ball 26. Josh Allen. My boy Jay only threw the ball 26 times.
20 for 26, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
They play clean ball.
He's a new man.
They play clean ball.
You're seeing a formula here with these playoff contenders. Like I saw with the Eagles today, how like it's not the Hurts show, it's the Barkley show. It's not the Lamar Jackson show. It's a Derrick Henry show. Now you're seeing it with this team.
I wonder if Josh Allen just demands a trade to wherever Joe Brady goes. I need to stay with him. He's turned me into a mature quarterback.
The offense is good. It's balanced.
They're good.
And then defensively, I mean, I think it's the Broncos. It's not crazy because the Broncos have a lot of weapons, but the defense look great.
Yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say about the Broncos? They weren't ready yet.
Yeah, it's a team that surprised everybody when they got here. They just faced the wrong team. This team might be in the Super Bowl this year, like Buffalo might be. And Bo Nix looked great, but you can't run. If you can't run the ball and you only have one decent wideout, you're not going to go far. And if your defense gives up 31 unanswered points, what the hell are you going to do?
It reminded me when LeBron first returned to the Cleveland Cavs. Remember that first game?
Game with a basketball reference.
No, the world was watching.
No idea where you're going with
All the people sitting in this room.
The world was watching this game because like the Cavs came out, they had the early lead, the hype, everyone's pumped, and then they got reminded who the Miami Heat were back in those days.
Gabe,
That's what this reminded me of.
Miami, they weren't playing the Miami Heat.
So was LeBron playing for both teams?
When LeBron first went back to when he played
when
against the
LeBron
Cavs.
played for Miami and
his first game back,
Yep.
Cleveland, the
I didn't
Cavs
remember,
came out fire. The whole time I was like, "This is the Cavs.
remember
Like
that,
this is what the Broncos are doing."
That's
That
so good you
first-
stumped me. I was LeBron.
It was.
LeBron.
It's what it reminded me with Bo Nix with just the beautiful pass, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, snap back to
I
reality.
mean, could run the ball, couldn't pass the ball.
Bo Nix solid. I give him a solid A for his rookie season. Like they have a guy.
You know,
They have a guy.
Next year, you have $52 million in cap room. Then you can always put the cap is so you could push it back so you have more cap room.
So what do you need to do? Like, what do the Broncos need to do?
Get a running back.
Try to reverse that trade for Jerry Jeudy. You could probably use him.
We need a running back in the worst way.
You need a running back. You need weapons.
We
need whatever kind of weapons you want to
I'm
play
going to
for
speak
you.
it into existence just right now. What
Here
pick
it
do we
is.
have?
Here it is.
Who are you going to get?
Ashton Genty. Let's trade up. Let's get a running back. He's already been a Bronco. Boys stay Broncos. Just keep it in the family.
Is that a Sean Payton type of move, though?
I don't care. It's my kind of
man.
move.
Didn't he start Audric Estime last week? And he wasn't even active today?
Yeah, Sean just wants his running back, and
I don't think he wants a star running back. I think he wants to play chess. I think he wants to have different pieces.
But we saw what that is. We couldn't when we needed
You think Sean's going to change?
No, I'm telling you, Sean's always had good running backs. He's not going to keep, next year it's going to be a completely different backfield. He will draft a running back in the first or second round this year. I'm telling you. It's going to happen. Or they'll sign somebody.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think he's always going to roll with a committee. It's kind of
No, I'm saying, but he'll put draft assets into it now.
Yeah.
These guys, he kind of just, was given. He's going to draft his guys.
Is Courtland Sutton a free agent?
No, he has 2 more years left.
I feel like they need receivers so badly.
Yeah, we have a bunch of, wideout 3s. Yeah. And Sutton's a 2 on most teams. A really good 2, but he's a 2. Yeah, we know T. Higgins. Hey, buddy, we don't have a lot of money, but
it's like the only thing he wants.
And it's pretty cold in Denver, but a lot of weed in Denver. It's like that. That's where that all. What else am I gonna do?
He could go to L.A.
A lot of snow bunnies here. Yeah,
defense has some pieces. You obviously Surtain headlines that he's the blue chip guy.
Yeah, toe for the blow today.
You could probably not a great game for him today, but.
Not him.
You can add pieces to this defense.
Yeah. Another corner.
I just feel like they're using high-end pieces. You
Yeah.
got a good system.
Another corner. Maybe
some better ingredients.
Maybe a safety. Our linebackers can't cover for shit. So maybe a middle linebacker. Yeah. We're not there. And the Bills are there. This is prime Josh Allen.
So Bills move on. They're going to play the Ravens. This game is in Buffalo? No.
Yeah, because the Buffalo's the higher seed, right?
This game's going to be in Buffalo.
Oh, man. What a great game.
God. I mean, initial thoughts. We don't have to pick or anything like that, but biggest game of both of these quarterbacks' careers.
And you've heard talk. It's like, whoever loses, you're going to hear, oh, they're playoff choke artists. Nope. Unfortunately, they just met each other at this time.
Yeah.
I don't care who wins, who loses. Both are great quarterbacks.
And they played in the Mahomes era.
Yeah. It's like, not only that, then they got to. One of them's got to meet him the following week.
It might just, because they're so explosive offensively, it might just come down to a time of possession game, but they're both built for being a time of possession type team. So
it's great. It's such a good game.
This will come down to who has the ball last. That's my early thoughts.
And you don't want to give these quarterbacks. Well,
and you don't want to give
Josh Allen. You want to give him the ball last. I feel like it would be more scary if he had the ball than Lamar Jackson, right?
I mean, can this be the game where Lamar's kind of exposed just a little bit, where it's like Lamar can't really run with Derrick Henry? Now he has to, kind of score the touchdown. I don't know, something like that.
We'll see.
Honestly, don't even know. There's so many. Like,
it's wild. It's wild
because now you have Derrick Henry in Baltimore.
Yeah. Because I trust Derrick Henry to show up wholeheartedly. It's going to be cold. It is like his natural element.
Yeah.
And yet I trust Josh Allen. I guess the most iffy part to me is Lamar Jackson. Like, who's the most iffy superstar?
Who's
the most questionable superstar?
There's only 3 superstars right here. Okay.
Like, who do you trust the least to show up?
It's Lamar.
It has to be Lamar.
2-time MVP. Lamar Jackson is the
third time pending.
That's like my whole point. If this comes down to whoever has the ball last and it's in Lamar's hands and you can't run the ball because you have to get down the field and score. This could come down to Lamar.
Let Derrick Henry throw the ball. I'm sure he can do it.
He hasn't he?
He's incredible.
Yeah, he didn't do it in Tennessee.
I think he has a touchdown pass.
He does.
Incredible. He has a few on his.
That's gonna. I think do they have times out yet? I have that thing right here.
God, that's
gonna be
Mafia rocking. Hopefully it's snowing. That'd be cool too.
Oh yeah.
Is that the Sunday night game?
You could check the weather now.
And then
I'm sure they have that report.
Then next week
That is the Sunday night game.
You get Zay Flowers.
Wow, that's a Sunday night game.
Sunday night game.
Unbelievable.
The sun setting there, and I hope it's snowing.
Yeah,
Can
right?
someone check the weather?
Yeah, I'm on it. The weather next Sunday, the low is 16. It's gonna snow the previous day.
Let's go.
The high is 24. The low is 16.
This is gonna be
It's gonna be awfully cold.
Listen, I'm a Broncos fan.
And as a reward, you get to play probably the Chiefs next year.
There you go.
Unless, Angel thinks Texans are going to win. So maybe the Texans.
As a reward, here's CJ Stroud. Which would be an appropriate award.
Yeah, Stroud's got an uphill battle.
It's no disrespect. I'm just saying.
That was pretty disrespectful.
I'm just saying, imagine if you're the Ravens and you're in a snowy game in Buffalo and you come out the winner. It's like, hey,
what are we? So you go home and play CJ Stroud.
All right, let's go. It's Russell Wilson all over again.
If Eli Manning can do it, anyone can do it.
Eli's a one.
Respect Eli.
Eli's a one.
It's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
That's a crazy quarterback.
Beat Brady twice.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Packers Eagles. Listen,
I'll let you guys cook this one.
Gabe, all respect. We did the handshaking thing right before.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was in the same room with you, I would have talking a lot of shit. A lot. Like I said some deplorable things to the Packers players, and probably vice versa. And then also our nephew, you have morphed him into a Packers fan.
Baptized him in cheese.
So that's another reason I didn't watch the game. Yeah. So I was like, I won't destroy this kid. Me and Adrian we talk about just pick him up and punt him across the room.
Because he's all of 40 pounds.
He's 9 years old.
Eagles win 22-10, and as an Eagle fan, there's a lot to get into this game. It's not the showing we wanted. It's very honest.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Not impressive.
You know who I thought Hurts played pretty well. I like this version of Hurts where he's like aggressive.
Yeah.
He ran the ball well, even though it didn't show on paper a lot. But
we'll get into it. But let's start with the Packers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Packers,
Gabe, I'll let you go. I'll let you go first.
I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, you got to ask me a question. I mean, there's
what
so many
stood
of
out
them.
to you here? Was it what you expected? Are you surprised at all?
I'm not surprised. I said after the Minnesota loss that we're not there yet. We're not built for this kind of game yet. And then what also doesn't help either is when your guys are just starting to, they're leaving the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. That doesn't help. And then Love I will say the most surprising thing is Love's performance. I wasn't expecting him to go out there and toss 5 touchdown passes and all that stuff, but I mean, just was not accurate today. Even the one with the Malik Heath catch in the fourth quarter to keep the possession going,
right.
That wasn't so much on Heath. The ball was overthrown. I wasn't impressed today, but it's what I expected. I expected this Packers team. I said they're kind of like the Bengals of the NFC. We're in every game, but most likely we're not going to win it. This was that kind of game. We had that first half, I believe we were there. We could have at least made some noise. The missed field goal, fumbling the ball on the kickoff return. There were so many different things. We had Philly at 10 points at the start of that. It's like there's no reason why we should at least be tied here. But Jordan Love not being careful with the ball. Honestly, Josh Jacobs and my boy Reed were the only two guys that really came to play today, and one of them left early. So just disappointing. They're not quite there yet. I said that a couple weeks ago. Proud of the season they had. Hopefully, I told Angel this. I hope this is just the end of a sophomore slump for Love. And let's just move on to the offseason. There's nothing that shocked me about today's outcome.
Jordan Love, 20 for 33, 212 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 41 QBR. And honestly, he got Fangio'd. There's a classic Fangio. I'm going to squeeze you. Yeah. I'm going to make you impatient. I'm going to make you work your way all the way down the field. And if you're not patient and you want to take some chances like Jordan Love has been known to do, you're going to make some mistakes. And Jordan Love did.
Yeah.
And there's no big plays. And that's Fangio. That's how he runs his defense.
Well, Angel had a great point, too, a couple weeks ago that I pushed back at him about the lack of receiver today. I mean, I'm not a Watson.
Literally, you had like 2 receivers left.
Yeah, this kind of sucks.
I'm definitely not a Watson guy, but we saw the effect of not having a deep ball guy today, and that it just really sucked.
Yeah, this sucked because even my argument it doesn't even count now because you guys were all hurt. So the guys couldn't even prove me wrong because they were hurt.
Yeah,
so it's just they kept falling, literally falling.
That being said, though, this starts with Jordan Love, though.
Yeah, you know what?
Like you could have had you could have switched receivers, and Jordan Love would have still struggled today.
I count it as 2 picks. The last pick was just him just throwing the ball, trying to get to touchdown.
Well, the second pick to the linebacker, if you watch the replay, Kraft slips and Love was just throwing it where he was supposed to be. That's why it was such a terrible looking pick when you watch the TV version. Yeah. But when you watch it from the camera, if you watch it from the film, Kraft just slipped and he never got back on his feet. And
I'll tell you what,
so
he needs to fix his footwork.
Yeah, he plays real sloppy, but he's a lot of fun to watch.
His feet are. He's always on his back foot. He's always side, kind of like a gunslinger, almost lateral.
They need to reel him in. You need it sucks that it doesn't not sucks. It doesn't make sense when I first say it, but you need to be a running team as far as rely on your running game.
Well, today we kept feeding Josh. I mean, Josh had a bunch of carries in that first half that went for 2-3 yards, but I was surprised LaFleur kept going back to that, and it paid off in the third and fourth quarter. You saw Josh Jacobs was having some great runs, but he just to kind of put the cherry on top of his season. That was a terrific signing by the Packers.
He's phenomenal,
and if he can do that for another 2-3 seasons, awesome.
And then next year you get back Lloyd.
They have a lot of faith in that kid.
So and then maybe draft another running back, but Josh Jacobs was your best player.
I think offensively, it's gonna have to come down. We need to get a wideout. We need a wideout. We need a deep threat wideout. Jaden Reed, for whatever reason, I don't know if they just don't like the kid or whatever, but every time he got the ball, I mean, he breaks tackles. He looks good. He's the only. I think you text me he's the only guy in the Packers right now that I see that has any type of juice at all. Yeah. All the other guys are just nothing.
Going into this game, the only guy I was afraid of was Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
I was not afraid of Josh Jacobs. I figured he'd have a game like this, 18 for 81. No big plays. He's a tough runner. He's very good, but he's not a game breaker. At least I haven't seen him. He hasn't been like that against us. But Jaden Reed is the one who killed us in the first game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't killed. 4 catches for 46 yards. But it felt like every time they needed a big chunk play, it was him. Oh, no, it's Jaden Reed.
Yeah. It was him, yeah.
And so I don't know. Yeah, they definitely need a number 1 receiver. But
I think this game was just exactly what the Packers season has been summed up to be. It was the Packers kind of killing the penalties today, too. God, I disagree with some of them, but the majority of them, your boy, the defensive tackle, was killing our left guard. And we brought in another guard to try to see if he could do better. And he got held with, I think he got hit with 2 holding calls.
That's just Fangio being like, Ellen Jenkins gone, we're going right at
the guy. Losing Jenkins, he's our best all-around offensive lineman. Yep. That had such a huge role.
He goes put Carter right over his ass, dude.
If you watch the preview, that's where I kind of felt the Eagles were going to exploit them, is up the middle. And Jordan Love, if you're pressuring up the middle and he's starting to, throw off his back foot and stuff, the kind of bad habits he have, that's where the turnovers come. And Jaden Carter did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Milton Williams had another. He was also just as good.
Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent.
It wasn't even Carter. He was doing stuff too, but Williams was just a nightmare coming up that left side.
He's going to get paid. Williams is good.
Yeah, we're probably. I doubt we'll be able to keep him.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith had a great game. The Eagles' defensive line played better than I thought they would against that. I thought the Packers' O-line was going to put a better fight than that.
Is there an update on the linebacker that
Kobe
was
Dean?
Yeah.
He looks like
No,
he's
he
gone.
walked out with crutches and a brace on his.
There's a lot of injuries.
They
this
ruled
game
him
on.
out like right away.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I doubt,
nothing
I doubt
crazy.
we see him again.
Yeah.
And
sucks.
that's a blow to the Eagles. I texted AJ like this is a problem because Oren Burks is a special teamer and he's a great special teamer.
He made a great play.
He almost killed Keyshawn Nixon in the first play
made
of
a
the game.
fantastic play.
But as far as at a linebacker, like you could see the level of tackling just drop when the Kobe Dean was out.
Well, they were talking about him the very few minutes he was in. They were talking. They're praising, saying there's a reason why this Phillies defense got a lot better as the season kept going, and they said it was because of him, because of what he's able to do there.
It's
but
such a bummer, man.
that sucks. Yeah, it does suck.
Because like that, but that's what it was his issue going into the draft though. They couldn't stay healthy. And
Oh,
now,
really?
Here we are, 3 seasons in. He's been hurt.
Yeah,
for two
because he
of
was like a first-round talent, but
sure.
we got him in the second round.
them. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Like late second round or maybe the third
Might
round.
have been the third round.
Yeah, but he was definitely a first-round talent, but there were reasons that he
Also,
fell
too,
in the draft.
Tom Brady is definitely a fan of the game.
Wasn't it his knee also in college too?
He's had all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to remember it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that draft.
yeah, I mean, his elbow.
He was
that's why
hurt
wears that giant brace.
at the draft.
That was
right?
the
I think-
Georgia Bulldog draft, where like all the
Yeah.
defensive Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be an issue for the Eagles moving forward because you know he's in such a key cog in that defense. And Zach Bond played great.
Yeah.
First team All Pro Zach Bond.
He was awesome.
So
He was
good for
everywhere.
Zach Bond.
He was good.
Good for him.
Eagles now 100% need to just give him whatever he wants.
I was telling my wife, I'm like, you don't understand the story that this guy is this season. One of the lowest paid, like possible lowest contract in the NFL for a vet.
Started out, he beat out Devin White, who's like a world champion, and then you're like, why did they cut Devin White? Now you're like,
A
oh
sideline
shit.
to sideline guy.
Oh,
And he
shit.
got beat out by this
Bond
vet.
is a first
Yeah.
team All Pro linebacker. That's crazy.
Let's talk about Jalen Hurts because I feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna get some negative press this week.
That's stupid.
And I don't think he deserves
That's the
it.
story of Jalen
I thought
Hurts.
he
though.
played well.
I thought he played rusty in the first. Like I thought he played better as the game went on.
Yeah.
But he had 39 yards in the first half. Like he
Yeah.
struggled in the first half. He was definitely rusty. He had nothing downfield. AJ Brown's hurt. He's definitely hurt.
Yeah.
Like that's for sure. Devontae Smith looked good, but not having AJ Brown is I'm worried about it going forward.
He didn't even practice all week.
Didn't practice. One catch on 10 with 10 yards. He also read a book on the sideline. People making a big deal of that.
You think he's hurt?
I thought
he
that was
ran
funny.
Good. I thought he ran good. Did you think he was hurt?
One catch, 10 yards with their cornerback out.
He's
cornerback one out.
He'd been
Missed
on the injury
practice.
report all
I know.
week.
Okay.
He's
He's
100%
he's got a banged up knee.
100%
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy that this team is so good, you kind of get away with it. Because what's his name, Goddard? Because
Dallas Goddard.
I know he had it in him.
We're like prime Gronk today.
I do know that he has in him because wasn't this the same scenario the last time the Eagles had like nobody out there? Then he was like the Superman in that
the
one
Saints,
game.
It was a Saints
Yeah,
game.
we had like
he
10
was
catches, like
incredible.
150 yards.
This is how
something like
Goddard. This is how Goddard was before AJ Brown and all them came. Like he's capable of doing this.
Yeah.
He hasn't had to.
It's good roster building because we have AJ Brown's down. You have Goddard right there, and Jahan Dotson caught his first. As an Eagle.
Forgot he was an Eagle again.
Welcome to the Eagles.
Well,
Jahan
that
Dotson.
touchdown brings me to the real star of this game. That's that offensive line.
Offensive line.
Yeah.
Like that, Jalen Hurts stood back there for
7
10
seconds.
Like
he had,
it was.
he had 7 seconds on that touchdown.
It was
pass.
insane. Like Jahan Dotson had time to run a terrible route
And then come back.
and come back after.
Give him some
it.
credit, man.
He did. It was such a lazy
There's a reason why that was his first one of the year.
Come on,
But
Jahan.
I mean, to get it started like that after the turnover on the kickoff and then make it 10 right away, I thought that put the Eagles in command of this game because then at that point you could just lean on Saquon,
Yeah.
and that's a problem, you know. So yeah, Saquon looked great, 25 carries, 119 yards. Could have had that touchdown.
Could
at
have
the end.
had that. Yeah, so I'm
AJ
like,
texted me right away like, "How's that, man?"
I think during the game he made some incredible run, and I like leaned to Gabe. I was like, the Giants did want to pay this guy. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? This guy's a superstar. He's phenomenal.
every time he touches the ball, even some of those runs where he
He has
just made it back to the line of
He has
scrimmage.
so much
like,
juice.
Yeah,
man. He's
it's
just everything. It's just everything's his cuts are so sharp and he's so powerful. He's fantastic.
He's 230 pounds, and the way he moves, and like he's like a freaking cat.
yeah, yeah.
Like you ever chase the cat? That's what it must be like trying to tackle Saquon.
I have.
Except he's a massive cat.
Yeah.
So it's like chasing a lion.
He's a big cat. Yeah.
I like that. I call him the big cat.
Yeah, big cat.
It's been fun to follow him and Derrick Henry in going through this year though. Like where the Titans are after Derrick Henry left, where the Giants are after, or even like where the Raiders are. Like all these running backs enjoying great success.
It's like the redemption for these running backs who a couple years ago were getting just shit on because
wasn't even a couple years ago. It was the year before.
It feels like it was a couple years ago.
It feels like
it does, yeah.
No, but Saquon, he could. It's hard. This is why I had the Eagles #1 all year because like they're so balanced. Even if AJ Brown's hurt and Jalen Hurts had a bad first half, you're fine. You have Saquon Barkley, you're fine. Yeah. And that offensive line is phenomenal too.
Is that going to be a problem moving forward for the Eagles though? The fact that they put 22 points up against the Packers team. I was so this game I wasn't on Thursday, so I would or Friday, so I wish I was because I would have called this game. Eagles are going to drop 30 plus. Packers might make a late run, but Eagles are about to be kind of what we said about the Ravens, how the Ravens came to show. You know, they came into play and they scored a lot of points, this and that. Does it bother you that the Eagles didn't display that kind of offensive performance?
It should have been 29. Saquon gave up.
Okay, but that's true. No, hold on. The Saquon one is garbage time. I'm not talking about garbage time points,
but it's still points on the board.
I am talking about in the second quarter when the Eagles need score, in the third quarter when the Packers kind of make a little run and Philly has to. I'm talking about in those moments. Does it bother you guys just a little bit that Philly didn't score more than that?
You know why? Does it? Because that defense is so good. They're so balanced. The defense will hold anyone down. They're so incredibly balanced.
It bugged me that this offense won't beat the Lions and it won't beat the
that's
Commanders
that's
and it
what I'm
won't
saying.
beat the who's the other team?
But the defense,
the Rams or the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings
but the defense might. That's what I'm saying. That
no,
defense
you're not gonna. You're not gonna score 22 points against those teams and win. It's not gonna happen.
Like the Packers, you were able to do that too because Love was not having that great of a year. The receivers are gone, so it makes sense for that. But Joey's right. I mean, the Vikings, the Lions, they're gonna. The Lions could drop 40 points, and it's not even like shocking.
They're not doing that on Philly. That defense is so good.
We're gonna need more, but I have optimism that we can give more. Like, AJ Brown being hurt's a real thing.
Yeah,
like. To me, it was pretty impressive by Jalen Hurts today because consistently in his career, he has looked bad when A.J. Brown's not there.
I really want to take the victory lap on like A.J. Brown, but I didn't know he was that.
No, yeah.
I really want to be like, damn,
he didn't
A.J. Brown, 1 catch, 10 yards.
I think his superpower today was that he won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
You look at each quarterback, Jordan Love over there, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. 131 yards, and he's gonna get killed tomorrow.
His first touchdown was on the 28-yard line, and that was after Saquon ran it for like 15 yards on the very first play for the Eagles.
As bad as his first half was, I thought he had some huge drives in the second half when the Packers' offense was kind of waking up, and I felt like he kind of answered the call. He did just enough to win the game.
Yeah,
but it's
against a Packers team. That's kind of what my question is, though. Like, it was against a Packers team that I don't think anyone really had winning this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely need more from the Eagles, but I'm optimistic that there's more there to give because of injuries and whatnot. I'm a little concerned about the defensive injuries going forward. But
Slay is always banged. Slay's getting hurt every
Slay
single
left
game.
the game. The Kobe Dean's a big one. I'm so bummed out about that one.
That one stinks.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not so much worried about Slay because Isaiah Rodgers always plays well when he's in.
Yeah.
He always plays well. And so I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the Kobe Dean. That sucks. They'll play the winner of the Vikings Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I was so impressed today. Even on a bad offensive game, this team is so good.
I'm looking like it's almost if Saquon takes that last one home, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley have almost an identical game to Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
like
is the conversation different?
Identical.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe we're overreacting to the box score.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up with the Sunday night game. Commanders win 23-20 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And
little louder, Joe.
I'll take this one. So the Commanders, they played a solid game. I thought Jaden Daniels was really impressive through the air. Like, I thought he picked apart the kind of like he played the game Jordan Love should have played. Like, the Tampa Bay also plays that shell defense where they're going to make you work your way all the way down the field. And Jaden Daniels just did. Yeah. Like, consistently in the flats, over the middle, like, was accurate, was on time, was decisive, like, with his throws. He wasn't double clutching. I thought he played like a much more veteran quarterback than he was.
He doesn't look like a rookie.
No, he got no help through the ground. Like, even from himself. 13 carries, 36 yards, which, by the way, he's not going to last if he keeps running like that. He won't last. Right?
No.
Like, he can't. He can't do that.
He doesn't have the frame for it.
Do you see when he got hit in the sideline?
Yeah.
When he flew, when he almost just combusted? That was insane how hard he got hit. But, yeah, I think he got nothing through the ground today. and he really just did it through the air, which is not like on my bingo card for Jaden Daniels to beat the Buccaneers through the air. But that's right there. I thought it was really impressive. And
I was impressed, man.
Terry McLaurin was really good. De'Ami Brown had literally the best game of his career.
They need a running back, though. They need a running back bad.
Really bad.
Bad.
Brad Robinson is not the guy.
Although I thought Eckler had a good game.
Yeah, Eckler had a good game. They were trusting him more. They kind of were doing a rotation
In that 2-minute drill, he came up pretty
Eckler.
clutch.
Yeah. But I thought Jaden Daniels was phenomenal. I was very impressed. He was the Washington offense, like he's been all year. He was great. Scary Terry on those, that connection is great, but
It's not gonna be forever.
it's hard. Like Jaden, you don't need to take every hit. I know you're trying to go out of bounds that one time. You get your ass knocked, but listen, take care of your body because you're the entire offense. Because you have nobody else besides Scary Terry, and Mariota sucks because he sucked.
Random straight at Mariota.
No, because if Jaden Daniels gets hurt, they have no one else.
Tim Tebow sucks.
And Matt Flynn
else
couldn't
to
beat
rely
out
on.
rookie Russell Wilson.
They have no one else to rely on besides Jaden Daniels. Like, this team's not built well right now. It's just Jaden Daniels is the entire offense. So
Yeah.
you need to take care of yourself because without you, this team's gonna score like 3 points.
But that's kind of a mega win, though, right? Because when you're seeing that, you could at least say, okay, our experiment with this young guy works. Now we got to figure out what to put around
I'm
him.
saying for this year.
No, right. No.
In this year,
No,
you
that's
need to take care.
Yeah,
better
that's
care
kind of
of
what I'm
your
saying.
body.
Like,
Yeah.
you want to go into this next offseason saying, okay, the quarterback spot's fine. Now let's just go build around him to clean up this or that.
I'm not talking about next. I'm talking about right now, like in the playoffs.
No, right. But I'm just saying I think we all agree they're probably not going to be able to do too much next week is what I'm saying.
Oh, next.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
year,
just
bro. What
here-
the
I was trying to think, are you hearing what he's saying?
Okay, yeah. Wait, who do they play next week?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, Lions. So,
I don't think it matters.
so all this being said, reality check's coming next. Okay, you beat the Bucs, and you barely did. You banked it off the goalpost to win
Come on.
at the end of. Now listen, you banked it off the goalpost to win at the end of the game. You won. No one would take that away from you. But at one point in time, C.J. Stroud beat the Browns with no one at quarterback. Like this,
Stroud catching a
this is
stray.
the same thing that happened last year. C.J. Stroud beat the Browns. Oh my God. C.J. Stroud and the Texans are here. They're legit. They're real. And I'm a hater for saying they're not. How'd that play out? I think Jaden Daniels is having a better rookie year, and I think he looked really strong today. And my point was never about Jaden Daniels. It's about the Commanders. There's going to be a rude awakening next week when you go to Detroit. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. You can win a Super Bowl with Jaden Daniels if he plays like this and gets better. 100%. But this roster's not it. Like, that's just the truth. It's going to be a rude awakening next week in Detroit, and it's going to be just like last year when C.J. Stroud beat the Browns and then went to Baltimore and had the same rude awakening. Like, it's just, I don't know if, like, the point I was making about the Commanders is any different this week than it was last week. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels played a great game. Shout out to Jaden.
No. But you're right. Jaden Daniels is fantastic, but they have won games this season despite the roster.
Yeah,
And the roster hasn't changed since when we came into the season. The only thing that's changed is that Jaden Daniels is a real NFL quarterback.
Yeah, like, let's be realistic about the Bucs. They're 10-7. They won the worst division in football, and they went on the last week of the season against the Falcons. This was not a team anyone was picking to go 2 or 3 rounds in the playoffs. It wasn't a great opponent. It's still a great victory for the city of Washington, for the Commanders. But let's not pretend this is like, the Commanders are here as one of the elite Super Bowl contending teams in the NFC. They're not. It's a great step for them. They have a lot of work to do on this roster. That's all I was ever saying.
Don't tell those people in the comments. Let's go over to Tampa.
So we're just not going to talk about that? Or we're just going to move on?
What do you want to say? Everything you say, you just like. If I say they won, like, well, they beat Tampa. But
It's the C.J. Stroud thing.
I'm like, Jaden Daniels played well while they only play Tampa. Okay, never mind.
Like every compliment's backhanded. Like,
It's like,
like
they're great.
he had a great passing game, but the receivers are kind of sucky. They have a great offensive line, but they're always
No,
hurt.
I'm just saying, let's introduce a little context to this win. Like the same way we did last year with C.J. Stroud.
That's
That's
fine.
all
but
I'm saying. Like, I'm not taking anything away from them.
Sounds like you are the win. Like this win doesn't count.
What? I literally just said it's a great win. It's a great win for the city of Washington.
Then you always follow up by, but they did beat the Tampa Bay.
They did.
Buccaneers.
Why is it like wrong to give like context to a situation? Like, was I not right about the Cleveland Browns last year?
You just don't give them credit for a win, a playoff win.
You didn't have them winning this game.
It was a great win. Did
you have them winning this game?
No, I didn't have them win this game.
Okay, well then that should be a personal loss for you then, saying okay.
Is that what you guys want? Okay, I want to take a personal loss that I didn't take the Commanders in this game.
I'm not saying take a personal L unnecessarily, but what I'm saying is like you're saying they're not that good after you just predicted they're going to lose to this team. Now you're saying, well, the team they played wasn't really that good, so I'm not really impressed yet.
Yeah.
What else do they have to do to impress you? You already had them losing this game, and then they don't lose it, and then you're saying, okay, next week will be the real test. It's like,
okay, let me ask you: is this a surprising win to you? Like, are you surprised they won?
I was surprised. Yes,
because we are pro Baker on this show.
We love Baker for sure.
We all thought Baker was going to win,
and I'm still not surprised they won. The Bucs aren't some amazing team. They're 10-7. Look at their last couple games. They barely beat the Saints to get into the playoffs before losing the week before. This is not some team that was riding the heater. There's not some team that's immensely talented.
You had them beating them.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying you could pick a team to beat the other team and still think that it's going to be a close game, though. I got to pick someone.
Okay, well, close game or not, you had them beat.
I did, for sure. That doesn't mean I don't think these teams were.
Your opinion was that they weren't good enough.
Right, but good teams face each other.
Enough.
Right, but teams that are similar in talent level face each other, and one team has to win. You have to pick one. It doesn't mean that, the Bucs are like, I didn't think the Bucs were like, there's eons and eons better than the Commanders. No, they were two teams that were two of the worst teams in the playoffs. And the Commanders won, and props to them. They could only win the game that they were scheduled to play. I'm not taking anything away from them. But I am giving context that it was the Buccaneers you played. Just like last year when I gave context to the Houston Texans that it was the Browns with Joe Flacco that you played. There's nothing wrong with giving context.
I think the problem
can't always live in fairyland.
I think the problem is that you weren't
talking about.
The problem with that is that you weren't saying this or they had this energy a week ago when they were scheduled to play against each other. When they were scheduled to play each other a week ago, it was that's the end of it.
Yeah,
it was a great season.
Tampa's good season.
Let's pack it up.
Yeah,
so again, we're not saying that they're going to go off to do great things this year. What we're saying is where was this last week when they were scheduled to play against each other?
Where was what? What are you talking about?
You were like saying, Tampa's gonna win by a wide margin. Tampa's a real team. Washington got here because they didn't play. They had an easy schedule or whatever.
Those direct quotes is that's kind of you felt that I felt about this game.
That is how you thought about this game. You picked the Bucs to win.
Yeah, Tampa's gonna win.
I definitely picked them to win. Yeah, but it doesn't mean I thought that Tampa was way better than them.
But you thought
one is 10-7, one is 11-5.
Hold on. But you thought they were better than them though. Yeah. Doesn't mean if it's way better or even slight. You thought they were better than them.
So this is an impressive victory.
So it should be an impressive victory.
Have I not been saying that? It's a great win. It's a great impressive. It sure is. But it's the Bucs.
There you go. Just wait for the other part. Yeah. It's a great win.
But it doesn't mean you can't give context to it. When Houston beat the Browns last year, it was a great win. It was the first win of the season. Great, awesome. But you have to give context to it. Why? Because next week you're gonna play Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. And it's gonna be a little reality check. Just like next week, I'll say that now. Next week the Lions are much, much better than them, and most likely they're gonna kick their ass.
Okay.
Sorry about context, guys.
You just sound like
sorry about context.
You just sound like you did last week. Only it was the Bucs instead of the Lions.
No, I did not say about the Bucs. I did not say about the Bucs.
I'm saying as far as the outcome of the game, that's all.
No, them playing the Lions. Them playing the Lions is nothing close to them playing the Bucs.
I'm not comparing the teams they're playing. I'm saying the outcome. You said the same thing last week, and it wasn't true this week.
Okay, I don't know what impression you got from me, but if you had asked me a week ago,
the impression I got from you was that the Bucs were going to win this game.
Okay, well,
and they didn't.
Okay,
and you won't give the Commanders that.
Okay, let me know when I can finish the sentence.
Go.
Okay, well, if you had asked me last week, I would have told you if the Bucs were to lose this game, that is not the craziest thought in the world. The Bucs are not some great team that everyone who expects the Bucs to make a deep playoff run. Did any of you expect that? To win 2 games? Would any of you have told me honestly before the playoffs, yeah, the Bucs are going to win 2 games? No, you guys don't think
about him.
You guys don't even think
pretty highly about him last couple weeks.
Yeah, we do because we love Baker Mayfield. But you could not honestly tell me right now you would pick the Bucs to win 2 games in the playoffs.
We'd have to see if the Bucs won tonight, which they didn't. We would have that conversation.
If they would have won, who would they have played the next week?
Philly.
Oh,
yeah.
Listen,
we just talked about the Eagles right now.
We were talking about this in the car.
We're talking about how the Bucs have been the kryptonite to Philly. I'm just saying.
I was rooting for Washington because I did not want to see the Bucs next week.
Tampa plays Philly very good, so we don't.
I did not want to see the Bucs next week.
They beat the Eagles this year when no one was playing.
They beat them last year, and then
right. They beat them last year. There's not the same team. This is this year, and they beat them when no one was playing.
They have a good record of playing against this.
Okay, so you would have picked the Bucs into Eagles?
Probably would have.
Stop.
They play Philly well.
Okay.
That's they have
Joey, you've said that yourself on this show. That you said the same thing that he just said right now. They played the Eagles very well.
I don't know how to argue this super hypothetical. Like they're like I don't even know where to go with that.
No, I'm not. Okay, we're not even talking about the Eagles. We're just saying that would have been a wild scenario if that would happen. We're just saying though, like your narrative switches so quick when it comes to teams that.
How did it switch? I'm saying the exact same thing about the Commanders. I'm literally saying the exact same thing.
I'm talking about their opponent. Like you keep switching on these opponents every time they lose the Commanders. All of a sudden, they're not that capable.
When have I done that?
You're doing it now. You're doing it right now.
Okay, listen.
You had
when I
the
made
Bucs
the whole
winning.
Commanders thing. All I was saying that they haven't beat a playoff team, which is a fact. That's not an opinion. That's not my feeling against the Commanders. That's a fact. They had not been a playoff team, and I was pointing that out going to the playoffs. Like this might matter. Like this might be a little fraudulent. They haven't been a playoff team, and they beat the Bucs.
They beat a playoff team.
Right. They beat the Bucs. Great, strong. But let's be honest about the Bucs. They are not one of, like a top.
But they're a playoff team.
Playoff
That was your
team,
thing.
for sure. They finally beat a playoff team. But that doesn't like negate the fact that the point I was making that they did not be a playoff team during the year. Like I don't understand how that was like an opinion thing.
Okay.
You guys and everyone in the comments are like, "Well, come on, bro. That's your own opinion." Like, it's not a freaking opinion. I read their schedule.
Commanders, you need to go on a Super Bowl run right now, baby, because that's going to be the only way you're going to get Joey's respect.
Right.
Go on the Super Bowl run.
So in other words, you have nothing else to say.
Knock out Detroit, knock out Philly, knock out the
This
Chiefs,
is the
exact.
exact. You know why I feel so confident, even more confident this year? Because this is the exact same conversation I had last year about C.J. Stroud, and I was dead ass right.
Those two
Actually, he's back in the playoffs
I was
again.
dead
with the playoff
ass
win.
right. I was dead ass right.
Actually, you're dead ass wrong because he's back. He's back in the playoffs.
No,
again
exactly.
with the playoff win.
He had
two
a great
number one defense in a
He
row.
had a
So
great,
you're actually
but
dead ass wrong.
No,
about that.
exactly what I said would happen happened. He went to Baltimore and he wasn't it. And then we wanted to crown him going into this year, C.J. Stroud, as a Super Bowl contender, one of the top stadiums seen, and he wasn't it as well.
He's back in the playoffs.
He won a
winning
playoff
a game.
You think he's a Super Bowl contender? Are we really having that conversation?
It's another.
We just talked about how they surprised the hell out of you, and now you're gonna be like, yeah, just like I do it. I told you C.J. Stroud was it.
These guys.
Who's switching narratives now?
He's proving everyone wrong. That's the whole point.
C.J. Stroud.
And that's
is
my point. He's proving you wrong.
The whole point is that he was going to have a better year, in which he's having a better year. It's the same thing with the Commanders. Like you keep saying,
C.J. Stroud had a better year, or he won a playoff game.
Hold on, we'll table that
What about
conversation
this
for
year's better
we're
for C.J. Stroud?
We're talking about the
No,
Commanders
because you made
right
the point.
now.
No, you made the C.J. Stroud point. What about this year's better for C.J. Stroud?
They're back in the playoffs.
That he won a playoff game? He did it last year. So what is better?
That he's moving on.
He moved on last year. What is better?
They're moving on.
He did that last year.
Going back.
You're
to back,
saying the same thing.
Going back. No, it's not the same.
He won a playoff game last year.
You were doubting them this year that they could even win one game this year.
You didn't have them go.
You were
to the
down.
playoffs.
You didn't pick them either. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh no, you don't like CJ
Oh
Stroud.
my God! And yet you
It's
didn't
the
pick
same
them
thing
either.
with the Commanders.
And you didn't pick them
It's
either.
the same thing with the Commanders. You won't put respect on their name because you don't want to put respect on
You
their
guys are
name.
insane. You didn't pick them either, but I'm the hater for not picking them.
Why
didn't you pick them? Let me ask you that.
It is well
We were
documented.
the
you don't
loudest
like
Let me
CJ
ask you,
fans
why didn't you
about
pick
it.
C.J. Stroud?
Joey, stop.
Why
It
did
is
you pick
well
CJ Stroud?
documented that you don't like CJ Stroud. He has to.
Can you answer the question? Why didn't you pick
He
C.J.
has to beat
Stroud?
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson at the same time, probably, and
He
then
has
you'll
to
respect.
he has to be Superman in order for
Can
Joey
you
to
answer
run.
the question?
That's it.
Did you pick C.J. Stroud and the Texans to win?
No.
Why not?
Because Chargers are a good team, and he beat a good team.
Right.
Then what do you have?
Right. But
So
if you
your
think
point
C.J.
doesn't
Stroud
mean-
is so good, why didn't you pick him to win?
Because Chargers are also a good team.
No, the answer is because Texas had a terrible year.
Chargers,
And you know they did.
Chargers are a good team. Number one defense. Again, he beat number one defense, and you're still like, I don't
AJ,
know.
do you have any thoughts here?
No, you're not going to want to listen to what I say. I agree with every single word Joey's saying. Every single word. Every single word about the Commanders.
You're
and
saying
Jayden
the same
Daniels.
shit.
I agree with every single word about C.J. Stroud.
It's
C.J. Stroud. We can't even have this conversation about C.J. Stroud until next week happens. He's done the same thing that he did last year, and it's great. Let's see. I don't know why that's such a crazy thing to agree with. Again, I wasn't here last week to see what Joey said about the Commanders. Regardless of what Joey said about Commanders, we said this in the car. These were the two worst teams in the playoffs playing tonight, the Washington Commanders and the Bucs. I'm not surprised that the Commanders won.
AJ,
I'm not surprised
I hate
that
the
Commanders
Bucs. I hate the Bucs.
No, you
But
hate
yet they're the two worst teams in the
They were the
playoffs.
two worst teams in the playoffs.
But I'm the Bucs hater.
Yeah,
This is
Thank
a
you.
great win for Washington, but it's not.
Bucks, I
It's
never
not
say you're
necessarily
It's a great win for me, to
When
be
did I
honest.
say you're a Bucks hater?
Huh?
When did I say that
mean Commanders
you're a
hater.
Bucks hater?
Commanders hater. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Commanders hater. My bad.
You asked me. I agree with every word Joey's saying. Every word.
Stroud, you got uphill battle, buddy.
Yeah, against guys who just flipped on you like this guy.
Commanders
who
too.
didn't pick you in the first against the Chargers. That was your pick, my guy. That wasn't my pick.
But you, Joey, stop.
But nothing.
All
That
year
was
we
your
said
pick.
Stroud and Jaden Daniels, I don't know what you guys need to do. Good luck.
I don't know what they need to do for you to pick them for a playoff game.
They just keep winning playoff games.
Maybe you'll pick them next week. You didn't pick them this
They
week.
just keep
this
winning
is-
playoff games, and Joey's like, nope, not good enough.
Why is this a me thing?
Well, you're also just putting it on the quarterback. Jaden Daniels had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But for the Commanders, like as a team, this is not a super impressive win. I mean, any other matchup, they beat any other team in the NFC playoffs, we're singing their praises. They matched up against the Bucs. They beat the Bucs. Those were the two worst teams in the NFC playoffs this year.
See.
All right. Well, we all have strong opinions about how the playoffs have been going so far. And we're not even really one weekend. So we'll see how this goes. Monday Night Football, we got Vikings and Rams. Rams having to go through a lot to host a playoff game. Is that a big deal? Moving them, their families.
Yeah, probably. It sucks that
It's an away game.
They're not playing at home. Tickets are low because no one's buying tickets in Arizona for a Rams. For a Rams game.
And then
to Terrell's point though, he did say that LA has like the #1 Vikings fan base of any other outside NFL
Maybe this
team.
helps. Yeah.
Maybe this helps.
I don't know.
It is more likely there's Ram fans in Arizona than Vikings
Yeah,
fans.
for real.
It does suck though that I know the fire's going on, but like the Rams earned a home field just for them to not.
And then a lot of people that could travel to Arizona might not have the means to travel right now with all that's going on in LA.
Not that it's a fair example, but the Chargers were in the same boat. I mean, they're an LA team that had to go on the road today. Did it affect them at all?
No, I'm saying like if you're playing a home game. So
Yeah, like
No, right. But I'm saying like if the Chargers, if they had a home game this weekend, the same thing would have happened to them too. But they had to go on the road.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, I guess the Texans are at home. Never mind. That's different.
Yeah, like this is a neutral site.
That's
but
different.
That being said, the winner of this game is going to play the Eagles, and both of these teams scare me. The way Eagles offense play today,
Man,
I'm nervous about these teams.
I have more faith in the Eagles.
We scored 22 points on the Packers defense, who was injured,
But like
missing their cornerback one,
But like exactly, like,
and turned the ball over 4 times.
you had like a Rusty Hurts and a Hurt H. Brown, and you still won with like that. Like, your guys are so balanced. Okay, I'll get next to next.
I just don't know what changes in a week.
I mean, what changes the week is some of the rust falls off, Jalen.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, the point is you want Philly to score 30 plus today. And they should have. And they should have.
We scored so fast to start the game,
Right.
And then there was a lull there for about
Yeah.
No, but even in the beginning
2.5
of the game,
quarters.
it was like you were given great field position. So
That's what I'm
who
saying.
even says if that doesn't
That's
happen?
true. That's true.
It could be 3-0 at
They
halftime.
scored their first touchdown on a short field.
28 yards.
After that, they had 3 points
That's a good
until
point.
it was 10-0 forever because the offense couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so the offense had a great second or a fine second half and good enough. But when your opponent scores 10 points and you're able to just
So how do we apply this to the Vikings Rams?
Yeah.
so I'm saying the Rams are humming.
They both could take advantage of that. They can
It's
take
just-
advantage
I
of that
don't know.
situation.
Huge game for Sam Darnold. Biggest,
Yeah.
Bigger than last week. I'll say
game.
that.
if he
If he wants to kind of reverse, we kind of lost.
If he fumbles this game-
he lost millions last week. He could gain those
he might
millions back
lost
this week.
he might lost $10 million last week.
No, no.
People are probably trying to sign
Right.
for $50 million. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe $40 million.
Right, but I'm saying he could recover a lot of
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
So
Here's the thing about him, man. When you date a girl and you know she's cheated on every boy she's ever married,
been there.
and yet she's faithful and she's faithful to you for a whole year and then cheats once, all that trust is out the window.
Yeah.
That's where we are with Sam Darnold.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Like, he had one bad game after an incredible season, and everyone's like, you gotta go with JJ McCarthy.
It's just because
It's
because
I mean,
he's him.
cheating's a strong metaphor. That,
It's like you're 3 strikes, you're out the first time.
I'm just saying he's lost a lot of trust in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And just the way he just looked like you're not ready for
Yep.
a playoff game last week, and it's only getting more intense.
And no disrespect to the Rams, but the Rams definitely aren't the Lions.
I mean,
So it could be a game where he does. No, right. The Rams are very, very good, but they're not the way that unit runs there in Detroit.
the last time
The
Darnold
Rams, yeah, good.
last time Darnold had a bad game was against Jacksonville, where he threw 3 picks, right? And then he proceeded to have the next 4 games throw 11 touchdowns to 0 picks. So he has a bounce back this year.
When was that? That was later on in the season, right?
Yeah,
Like post Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then he went on 4-week stretch where he threw 11 touchdowns, no picks. So he's shown that he could bounce back.
That's kind of that. See that
this better be a bounce back
That's
game.
that's what you don't want to see out of your quarterback going into the playoffs. You don't want to see him. You want to see him have those bad
this was
games
way
early
back.
on. No, right. But I'm saying going back to last week too, though.
The Detroit one's bad.
Yeah, and this one being at a neutral site.
You know why it was bad? Because he looked lost. He looked scared. That's why it's bad. Like not because he
and that's extra bad too, because the way they run that offense there, it's such a well-oiled
It's through
machine.
him,
You should be able to know your place.
He missed so many touchdowns.
The
last
Rams have already beat the Vikings this year. They played already, and they beat them 30-20.
week. Rams are good.
Okay.
And so, like,
Wow.
what's the line? Do we know the line?
Was that in Minnesota or was that in LA?
This was in LA.
That was in LA.
Oh.
In LA.
How
Matthew
do I
Stafford
not
went
remember
nuts.
that?
Yeah, I feel like we should. What week was that?
This was
That
week
was early.
8.
Oh, that's not too early. The Vikings were humming by that time.
The over under is 47.
What's the line though? What's
The spread is Vikings by 2.5.
Yeah, see,
So they don't.
Vegas knows.
doesn't even know. Yeah,
man,
or doesn't know. You know.
Vegas. I mean, they even lost.
They lost some
confidence
faith,
in Sam Darnold.
Definitely.
Damn. Sorry,
On
Sam.
Friday's show, we picked.
About to be the
me
Titans
and
quarterback.
Joey picked the Rams because
You guys want to pick the game? But then don't change it next week, Gabe, if they lose. Go ahead.
We're not getting into this game.
Well, if I call them winning a game and they lose a game, I won't back.
I'm
at them
kidding,
and
I'm
say
kidding.
They can't win anymore. I'm gonna go.
I don't know what that applies to.
I want Darnold to do it. I really want him to do it here. At a neutral site, I think that helps the Vikings somewhat. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here, but I'm biting my nails on it.
Yeah.
If the Vikings can just do what I've seen them do when they play offensive perfect, I don't care how good the Rams are.
Sam Darnold.
They could drop 35 plus points. They can do it. If anyone can do it, it's the Vikings, the Detroit Lions, the Eagles. There's only a couple teams in the NFL.
The LA Rams.
I like the Rams a lot. I don't know.
Also, too, I mean, the Vikings defense can they slow them down just enough? Can they get to a Stafford?
Here. Sorry, AJ. I picked the game.
Oh, good.
I got the Vikings. Rams are playing great. You just said Sam Darnold has already shown he can play a bad game. He can bounce back.
Yep.
The lights were incredibly bright last week.
Yeah.
If that's his thing,
They flexed the game to Sunday night.
The lights shine too bright. I mean, yes, it's the playoffs. Lights aren't as bright as they were last week. Obviously, he loses and he's out. But
Maybe he just had to
Monday
get
Night
out of his
Football
system.
playoff game. That's a pretty bright line.
Maybe he just had to get out of his system.
Like
it's
the
such
world
a
watching.
it's such a weird environment though. You're playing a neutral site.
That sucks, man.
It's that's why I'm saying it. It's just a weird environment that I think a guy like Sam Darnold can take advantage of and thrive in.
Apparently, tickets are pretty cheap for this game. So if you wanna
That's what I'm
go-
saying.
you wanna
Yeah,
go.
it's like a weird.
You wanna go.
Is it even going to be a full game?
There's like field level
yeah,
seats for like 150. It is an NFL playoff.
Don't you think it's going to be a very emotional game for the Rams, though? Like, they're going to feel like we got to
for
do
the
this
city?
for the city.
You don't
You
think
know
it's,
what
you don't think
sucks?
it's that,
I
it's
thought
gonna be
that for the
heavy on them,
Chargers
though?
too. I thought that for the Chargers too. That's kind of what I want to see from them. And
San Diego's just fine.
that's not fair, but yeah. Actually, they're about to lose
The Chargers aren't playing. The LA Chargers aren't playing for LA.
If they would have tried that, would have been no.
This is for LA. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, you live here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I thought about
Rams,
that.
yeah.
I wonder if the Rams are like if they're feeling that like we got to win this for the city.
I wonder if
Because-
they're affected
because
by it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's on the other side. I think it's a little heavy on them.
A lot of these fires are in the areas where all the
think
celebrities and
Cooper
stuff
Where
live.
some of them
house-
live.
I
Yeah.
think Cooper Kupp's lost his house. Like they all got evacuated.
Yeah.
No, did Sean McVay lose his house?
One of them did. I can't remember which
Yeah,
which
yeah,
one.
yeah. I remember.
I know Lakers head coach did. So
JJ Redick lost.
He
his
lost.
house.
He lost his
Guys,
house.
that might be what you're thinking of.
It might be
Yeah.
actually. Sorry.
But like,
Sorry, Cooper.
No, but Sean McVay
Cooper's
talked
watching. What the
about
hell? I'm in it.
that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think it might be a little heavy. It's a.
It could be
they've
both
been-
good and bad.
Yeah.
I think it could be.
You know,
both
if
good
the Vikings do win, I'm gonna be like, damn, I overreacted to 1 week, like one
Yeah.
week, and I'm okay with that. Like, because Sam Darnold, but
I just think clearly the Vikings are the better team.
they
here.
are, they are.
Clearly.
Yeah.
We've been saying it for.
I think it's going to go down that Darnold had to just get that out of his system. You had your big
Yep.
He's been
moment.
getting it out of the system for years.
But I'm saying with his new look with the Vikings.
Yeah.
This is the playoffs. This is what it's going to look like. You lost. Let's clean it up. And I think it
picked-
starts with the Rams.
I picked the Rams because I trust that. I trust Stafford and McVay more than I trust O'Donnell.
That's a great combo. It's a great
combo on the other
And, like,
side
it's a
too.
great
Look what
combo.
the head coach has
Remember-
done with the quarterback.
Remember
this year.
last year the Rams nearly beat the Lions in Detroit. So like they're
Yeah.
capable of upsetting anybody. And this year they're clicking well. I think 5 wins in a row. Puka Nakua's having a breakout year. It seems like Kyron Williams is. I don't know. That's a tough team. I would not want to play this veteran team. This veteran quarterback team with a bunch of young guys. They have nothing to lose. No one's picking that.
I'll tell you what, too, with Puka and Jefferson and everything, I'm happy that they're playing in a dome. You might get the best version of these offenses.
Hopefully, someone will recognize Puka Nacua as the one, like the top 3 wideout in the league.
I don't know why you keep saying that. I think everyone does at this point, right?
Don't.
Really?
You never hear any like Puka's up there with AJ Brown. You don't hear that.
I might not hear that, but I also don't hear negative stuff about him.
No.
Everyone talks very highly.
Well, that's the same thing Amon-Ra St. Brown went through.
Yeah.
Like I think when we don't have a pedigree, it's going to take some time for you to earn trust because you've never done it before. Like
maybe
those guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, they come to the league that way because they've done it in the college ranks.
And their first round picks and
they have the pedigree.
That's
for
a great comparison, though. I like that.
Puka it's the kind of same thing, right?
Brown, kind of the same career.
You kind of got to go through that proving time, and so far so good.
Puka's very good.
Yeah,
Puka will have 10 catches.
They have to do it for a long time, though.
That's our show today. Thanks for joining us. Episode 205. Rams and Vikings. Enjoy it. We'll see you on Wednesday. We're going to talk about Rams and Vikings, for sure. We're going to talk about the coaching updates and then preview a little bit of divisional weekend. See you Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.